Now Matt Prater for the point after. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So we've reached halftime here in what is... And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter up in Minneapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And some space here. And he's brought down after a good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now it's Freeman. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Ryan now off the bootleg. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand.
It's good to be the kicker for the top offense in the NFL, and Matt Bryant was that in 2016. Led the league in scoring with 158 points, but boy, does Atlanta find him valuable. So dependable and clutch.
And he's been valuable in this league for a while. Hard to believe he's been around since 2002. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So the play clock's running down.
Set. 250.
Play clock down to 0. And this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
From the gun, Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by...
Mismatches with his size, but slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Watch tight end. Hey.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. Flush to his right. To the right and complete to Galladay. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Time running out here on the play clock. On first down, it's Stafford. They go screenplay to Langford. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Again, it's Stafford. Dumps it into the flat to Langford. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Stafford on 3rd down. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. On first down, Stafford here. He completes it to Jones. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
I I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. To the air again, Stafford. The quick slant caught, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his second touchdown on the season. And it's for pride now, but the Lions do get a bit closer. So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this third quarter. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. This is Freeman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him... on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Just 1 yard to go here on 2nd down.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Now the first carry for Brian Hill. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's go.
Freeman. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Lions will take over. Back to the NFL scoreboard for his third quarter in Indy. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Come to my world.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Ebron caught left side. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Double tight. Set. Waiting. Four down. Alert.
Now a play fake and it's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now Shaw. It's hauled in by Hardy. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Shift together here from the D-line. On play action, they'll throw. That is caught at the 7. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And here we go on 1st and goal. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Now, I can't imagine any celebrations being any bigger than your first NFL touchdown. And this rookie running back is still seeking his. He's not going to get it on that play.
Hill to try again. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A 4th quarter score from the Meadowlands. It's the Dolphins taking a late lead over the Jets. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Flushed out right. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. First down carry, it's Hill. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Getting late in the fourth now, Charles. 2-minute warning just around the corner.
Yeah, some teams just want to get to that spot, take a breath, and then come out and attack for the rest of the game.
Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green, 39.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. Down to the 25. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
They keep it on the ground with Langford. Got some room at the 30. And he cuts it right sideline. And he's brought down after a good gain. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Langford again, busy man this afternoon. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. This is Langford. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
Now Riddick. A spin. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. Elsewhere, they're into the fourth at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. A win would be their first of the young season.
All right, here we go.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Atlanta, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.